Hi everyone, how are we all doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever this finds you, and a happy new month to every one of us. I pray God blesses us and give us our heart desires for this coming month. Just make sure you set your intentions, and the intentions will be right, and the universe will definitely give you an answer by the end of the month, right? I'm Lady Gola. Today is one of those days that you decided to tune on to our channel. You are highly welcome, and don't forget to relax and give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel, please, and ring our notification bell. Please, that little red bell hanging down there, just ring it for us, okay? We'll soon be going back to schools, and I want us to discuss about how we can protect our little ones, our children, our loved ones, especially those that are gifted. You know, with children that are born with supernatural powers, it's important to take care of them as they will be going into a new environment, meeting new friends, new teachers, new people that they don't know, and you will not be there to take care of them. You will not be there to follow them up every single day, every single moment while they are away from you. So why don't we take steps ahead of time and protect them before they kind of get into territories that you or them know nothing about, all right? And when I talk of gifted children who are born with spiritual powers, I believe we all know, and there is a video I made some time ago sharing signs of, of how you can identify that you are a spiritual gifted person or child. It is from birth. It is not something that you pick along the way when you are just passing, and somebody decides to bless you with it, or somebody, no, you are born with it. So some families do kind of identify it very fast for some children. There are some families who don't identify it that fast. So when we give birth to the children we are giving birth to, try to kind of study them, know what is happening all the time. When you see a child maybe, gets up in the middle of the night and start crying, and start behaving funny, and maybe start shouting, and looking at a certain direction, and it's just when you look at the direction, you see the child hangs onto you with a lot of affection. Know that that child is probably seeing something, and it is not all children that will see spirits. Definitely the child is picking up something, and it should call to your attention to start taking care of that child differently. Start praying for that child, start covering that child every time. Now, with gifted children, they don't grow normally, like they don't associate with other children normally. You either find them trying to isolate themselves at a certain point. What interests them will hardly interest the other children. What children normally like, they go out there and play with their friends, they are playing with toy, maybe they like partying, and then you discover that there's one little child in the house there that don't like population, don't like people at all. He selects who to greet and who to smile with. He selects who to take something from. When children are playing and going north, is playing and going south. Then you should put special attention to that child, because that child is not like normal, like the other children. Now, you sit in a house and a child gets up and tells you, "Mommy, don't go out today. I dreamt something bad will happen to you, don't go." The next day, the child comes up and just like, that thing that you are doing like that or you're thinking will work. and it works. Because they start predicting from that young age without even knowing, but they tell you and it happens. They tell you every dream and it comes to pass. They know that child is born differently. That child has light in him. Don't get me wrong, every other child is gifted. God gifted everybody. We are born with gifts. But they are children with supernatural powers. So because we have that tendency of always ignoring children when they come up to say something, I dream about this. I say, go with that your dream. Mommy, I feel like we shouldn't go out today, and then you get upset about it. You should always pay attention to children. They are all angels, and God uses them mostly because of their purity, because the pure hearts they have in there. Then imagine giving birth to a child that has been molded with supernatural powers. You have to pay special attention to that child. And then most supernatural children, children with supernatural powers, always fall sick, often than the other children. They're always referred to like sicklers in the house, till when they attain a certain age. And then, the manifestations start taking places more. They start seeing visions more, and spiritual things start happening more around them before they say, okay, I understand why you're behaving like this or why you're sick. That illness that comes often, it's not because they are cursed. No. It's not because God made them and some kind of give some kind of affliction that, okay, go because you have this gift, you go and your portion is sickness. No. That constant illnesses come because of the other powers, the other evil powers that are existing that tries to fight that child all the time. When a child is born with those gifts, with those powers, there are evil eyes that see it. You don't even see it, but they identify that child from your womb. Okay, there's a special one coming. Let's start trying to see how we can, get that power. Try to see how we can test the level of powers that this child has. And since the child is young and don't know how to kind of protect him or herself, don't know how to fight those powers, they'll obviously come and try all the time and keep her weak. So when she starts falling, or the child starts going sick from time to time, most of the times the hospitals don't even identify what is happening with the child. You always go and it's like, we can't see anything. All the tests come out negative, but the child is always weak and sick. So when you have a child like that, pay special attention. Don't assume the worst. Let nobody tell you that the child is obanje, you need to go and keep the child beside the water and it goes. No. Pray for God to reveal what is happening with that child. Because most of times before we even give birth to children who are like that, you, the parents, either the father or the mother, you have a trace of spiritual gifted or those spiritual powers in the family. So when you deliver a child and the child comes out with those supernatural powers, don't assume the worst. Just go into your history or your husband's history and check if they have this power in the lineage. And then you know what you can do next. Our ancestors in those days, they knew immediately a child was born with supernatural powers. They immediately identified it because they had their ways of doing it. All the traditions that we are running from today were helping them to identify as fast as possible who is who, what this child carries and what this child does not carry. Every child has a gift. As I said before, we are all blessed. Like in my place where I come from, when you give birth to a child, they don't take long. There is a tradition they make, and they call it they are receiving your formunion. They are receiving your blessings from God. So they take it and keep. They protect it. There is a chain of things that our grandfathers do, or the notables in the family kind of do to protect that gift for nobody to steal it. Because there are people out there, there are spirits out there that they are just hanging and waiting for those blessings to come out, and they steal it and empower themselves with. We are wondering why we are praying today and prayers are kind of not working on them, not working, because they know what to do. They know how to steal those gifts. They know how to take them and use them on themselves. Imagine each day how many births, how many children are being delivered with blessings, with those gifts, and they are being taken from them. So it empowers them all the time. But today we are running away from those traditions. We are running away from those things, and we are giving birth to children, and they're just going into the world and facing their faith alone. And when they discover that this child has supernatural powers, they start limiting the mother on where to take this child to. You don't take the child to the market. You don't take the child to public places. And they tell you when a visitor comes and the child reacts differently, or the child just starts crying suddenly, don't allow that visitor to lay hands on that child or to carry the child for no reason. Because immediately that interaction happens, it affects the child. And maybe that night will be a night that you will not sleep, because that child will cry and cry and cry and cry, because they are fighting that child. Those powers are kind of, fighting the child. And it brings you, the parents, discomfort, because it's not comfortable when somebody doesn't, you spend the whole night up, and trying to figure out why on earth is this child crying, and you cannot figure it out. So that some kind of visitors that we allow into the house that comes and just keep us havoc and go quietly. Because when you have a child in the house with supernatural powers, know that it will always attract those negative powers. They come to steal, they come to take. It's not like the child attracts darkness, but they will always come because there is light in your house for them to withdraw, for them to steal from. So we should know how to avoid it. When there is a birthday party somewhere, or a party generally, and you are being invited with your family, and that child doesn't feel like, Mommy, I don't go. Let her be. Let him be. Don't push. When those invitations come, if the child is too small for him or her to make some decisions whether I want to go or I don't want to go, make sure you pray over it and ask God for intervention. Ask the universe to guide you. Is this thing safe for my child? Is this place safe for my child? If they give you a go ahead, then you take the child there. It's not like you have to grant the children or you grant the child in the house, because you were born with supernatural powers. Okay, you are stuck in the house and you're not going anywhere. No, it wouldn't still help. That child still is natural. It's still human. So the human part of him or her needs to still interact with people. If not, he will not go to school. He will not go to other places. All right, now, the main topic today was how to protect them when they are going out there. When they have to meet other children, they are going out of their comfort zone now. So we need to know how to do or what to do with them. First things, before the child leaves the house at any point, always cover the child with your blessings. Call the universe for their protection all the time. That is just the first thing. You, like parents, you carry a level of grace that God has graced us all. You, like parents, you carry a lot of protection in you. As long as you carry that child in your womb, trust me, you have a lot of say when that child's life is concerned. So make sure you bless that child all the time. Secondly, there is this, I believe we all know, king grass. It's common everywhere. See, All right. Harvest a chunk of it. Wash it very well in the quantity of water that you can bathe your child with. Put blessed salt, blessed water, holy water, and St. Michael perfume in it. You still sit. You are standing a gap of your child. So you sit and you call the child's names. You call your spirit guides. Call your ancestors. Invite them into play. And you invite God Almighty. You put your intentions of protection into that water. When you are done, you give that child a good bath with it. From head to toe, bathe that child very, very well. As you're bathing, you are putting your intentions, you are declaring your intentions, you're calling for God's protection. And trust me, we all know king grass for its powers. It's not for nothing that it was named king. Its powers are heavy. So just do that, bathe the child with, and let the child go for a day without bathing, so that the powers of it will sink into the system very well. And then that is it. When the child is going out there, you know the child is protected. Let's do our part and let God do the rest for us. But we must make a move. We must first of all take some steps to protect those children. God protects them all the time. They are little angels. They have guiding angels. But we need to do it for easy access, for easy means. So protect those young ones before you send them out to school, okay? Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for always blessing us. For those that have been in the house already, thank you. My prayers goes with you all the time. Don't forget to give us a thumb up as usual. Thanks. Until next time, we'll see you again.